So when writing a business book, how much emotion, how much empathy do you put in, and how much dull, boring dishwater pragmatism, connect A to B, connect B to C, eventually you'll make some money.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great question. And it's one of the reasons, slightly, I will answer that question, but on a side note, I think it's one of the reasons why we value books so much, because we live in this noisy world where people just have to shout louder and louder and say more and more outrageous things to be heard. There's something really profoundly good for the soul to just sit with a book and not be distracted and go deep into something. I think that's actually quite a subversive act these days when everybody's out to capture your attention with the next, outrageous headline. So that's one side thing. So I think actually if you shout too shrilly, you almost negate the USP of your book. I think it's got to be sustained, it's got to be reasoned and all the rest of it. I would say that because that's kind of the person I am and the kind of books that I like to publish. But I do think it has to have a hook. You have to have, I'm really sorry. The neighbour is revving his his motorbike outside. I really hope you can't hear that. But you have to have a hook that allows somebody to see something in a new way. And that has to be immediately graspable. So while the big story you're telling underneath it can be detailed and a labor of love and have some dished water in there if it must. There's no reason why factual writing has to be dull, but there is some stuff that you have to get across. I still think if you can't explain to somebody what this book is about and why it matters really quickly in a word picture that they get, and that framing, that storytelling is really vital, and it's not easy. And, somebody like Trump was a master at it. Make America great again. I mean, that slogan, it's powerful. So finding a way to communicate that big central idea, that big central promise of the book. And I think if you've been a journalist, you've got a big advantage there. But the book itself has to deliver on that. And it can't just be a big series of sound bites.